While rumors of my death may have been greatly exaggerated, moderately exaggerated, I had to do something. B.A.S.S is over here trying to set a land speed record and Amber herding the bed. They do understand the goal is to catch fish, right? Stop number 1 for the elites at the St. Johns River has proven to be a complete cluster for B.A.S S, and frankly, it's left us more questions than answers. 3 anglers purportedly got varying penalties for blowing no wake zones, and a 4th got a simple phone call saying, "Please don't do it again." The latter angler, none other than Mike Iaconelli, who, according to a social media post by someone claiming to be Steve Kennedy, was protested by Steve Kennedy. So you have 4 different anglers with the same rule infraction, 3 different penalties plus 1 non-penalty. B.A.S S, make it make sense. But for that to happen, B.A.S S would have to be transparent, and right now they're about as transparent as my piss is. But now we get on to the 2 anglers who were disqualified for breaking the no information rule. 1 for the St. John's and 1 for this event going on now on Okeechobee. First, pertaining to Matt Herron, if the polygraph was conducted under the circumstances that are being reported, then it's a complete sham. Because as we've discussed on this channel many times before, a polygraph examination needs to be done within a certain environment in order to be accurate. In addition to that, several boxes concerning the subject's health also need to be checked in order to ensure accuracy. Now, according to sources with knowledge of the situation, Matt Herron had a back block performed just 2 days prior to the exam. That, combined with any medication he might be on, severe back pain, can all play a significant role in the physiological readings that are picked up by the exam equipment. If all this is true, that exam should never have been performed. Now let's get to the nuts and bolts of the no information part of the DQ. Josh Herron, Matt Herron's son, made a flippant, off-the-cuff remark to his dad about how the tournament would probably be won up north. This was based upon a conversation that he had had with a friend who he does business with. At no point was it intended to be nefarious, nor were any waypoints exchanged. And it's also a comment that Josh deeply regrets ever making. Now, not only did Matt refuse to go up north to this creek the other anglers were targeting, he went 75 miles south the other direction and steered clear of it like it was the plague. Now, B.A.S is saying he was selected randomly. That's interesting. Now, do you know who Matt Herron camps alongside when he's on the trail? None other than Gerald Swindle, who come in 7th place during this tournament, and Dollar Bill Lowen, who won the damn thing. Now, am I saying that if any information were shared that these guys used it? Hell no, absolutely not what I'm saying. What I am saying is consider this. Do you remember last year when both Trey McKinney and Tyler Williams were polygraphed solely because they had been on the road with J.T. Tompkins, whose name was reportedly a part of this list that they proved later it was never a part of? See, it's a game of guilt by association based upon who you are. What the hell is random about that? Now, we all know Matt Herron has been rather outspoken about B.A.S in his past. So is his being selected for multiple polygraphs in a row on the same day while in pain look targeted? You're damn right it does. One thing is for sure, Matt Herron has a zero tolerance policy for bullsh. So do I think we've heard the end of this? Probably not. Either way, the disqualification and the $2,500 fine that came with it was enough for him to end his storied career with B.A.S. He'll now be taking his talents on to the NPFL. Now, all this brings us to Scott Martin's disqualification for Lake Okeechobee. In B.A.S.'s press release, they say he self-reported. However, there are a lot of other anglers out there who are saying things quite to the contrary. Most of those guys have changed their name and moved into the witness protection program. What I find odd is how the rest of the world knew about this impending DQ coming down the pipe long before his conversations with B.A.S. yesterday morning. And the incident in question was supposed to have happened 3 weeks ago, yet was only self-reported to B.A.S. the day before the tournament? You've got to remember, B.A.S. is accustomed to being a one-stop shop for their brand when it comes to tournament fishing. Not only do they run the tournaments, but they also have their own media wing as well. and they expect us to buy whatever they're selling, no questions asked. Well, I've got questions. A lot of questions. For starters, how come so much of the field was roasting the rookies last year for getting information in the gray area while it was still legal? Are now some of the same guys who are wanting that same information rule changed? Yeah, this should be fun from here on out. And you know what? If you've made this far, do me a favor. Give the video a like, leave a comment below, share, and even subscribe. It's free. And if you really want to support the channel a little extra, feel free to become a member. We'd love to have you aboard. But I want to thank each and every single one of you for being here today. A special shout out goes out to our channel members. Don't forget about the news tip hotline there at the bottom of the screen. And as we always say here at Cerebral Tackle, until next time we meet, get out there in the water and keep it wet.
Yo, it's Cerebral Tackle, let's get to the facts. I don't sugarcoat nothing, I'm spitting the max. You think I'm holding back? Nah, I better step back. I'm dropping lines like